Hi Stampin' friends, tonight I'm using the Wonderful World $100 Designer Series paper and stamp set combination. It's a choice that you can choose when you spend $100, so it has two parts, both the stamp set and the paper. So I'm going to show you just a couple of these patterns here. This one has large flowers that you could of course cut out by hand, but that you could cut out with the larger dies, like some of the scalloped contours or something like that. And then the back side is this nice orchid oasis, kind of a wallpaper print. And then here's another wallpaper print of several of the colors that are in this. And the background is on kind of a faded rich raspberry. And I found this to be the hardest one to use out of this paper. And it's still really pretty. And then this one is a mossy meadow background with a variety of different florals. Background is really nice, light and dark. You could say so saffron and daffodil delight, or just light and dark, so daffodil delight. And then this one is again the orchid oasis with some darker colors in there also. And the back side is probably, I would say, mellow moss and pear pizzazz. So then this one is a pink background, which I really like. This has so many pinks in it. It looks nice with the Blushing Bride. It looks nice with Flirty Flamingo, and it looks nice with the Polished Pink. Plus, I think the lighter pink is actually not any of the colors that we currently have. And then the back side is a faded rich raspberry. And then this last one is perfect. I cut several out of this one using the die that is in the geraniums set. And it is perfect to cut out these little guys, I guess you'd say, out of a variety of these different papers, different florals. And there's tons of different ways to use those. So I hope that I can even just begin to show you all the possibilities with this one. Okay, so the first thing I did was ink up a few of these with my markers. I did find that for this stamp set, the easiest way to do this was to ink these guys up with markers. You could certainly make a gorgeous monochrome with this, but I just kind of wanted to show using the markers because I think it ends up really nicely. Okay, so the first thing that I did was just cut out some frames, and I had a little problem here, so I'm just gonna trim that off. I don't know if you ever had things go through and they don't just go all the way in. So then what I had to do was send it through again. And so what I was doing here was just kind of trimming, see there what I did? I just kind of trimmed that off. And honestly, now if I were doing this for a swap or something like that, but I honestly don't think you can tell really that I did that. So it would be nice then to add one of these guys to that, or you could stamp this part going off the edge and then put this around it, not stamp this part, but just kind of stamp this over here. So the colors I used on this were the Old Olive on the stems. Just going to kind of go over this just a little bit. And then on the rest of the stamps, I just used the Orchid Oasis. And what I was doing this, you could use a variety of other colors, but what I was doing was just following the colors that are in the paper on this one. And then what I'm doing now is just huffing on it to re-moisten the ink. Okay, it looks like I did that down there as well. So anyway, there you can see I'm just going to kind of get as much as I can on there and give it a minute. All right, and there you can see I've inked this up, and then I could just put this on some of my papers. I'll do that in a second. So now I'm just going to go ahead and do the little floral rose here. To do it, I used my Polished Pink on the rose part. And then to do the foliage, I just used Mossy Meadow. And it may be too dark, but I just kind of thought that would be an easy one to use. And then, then I'm gonna stamp it right on there. I can get that. Can't tell exactly. I'm using too big of a, oh, it worked okay. Too big of a stamp block, but you know, sometimes it's just what I have handy. So there is that. And let me just go ahead and show you a couple that I would put together on this one. I think this would look nice. You could use this one that I cut out from the one with all of the pieces in it. And I honestly think that actually looks kind of neat. But then also, let's see, I think I cut another one here. Just a second. Try to look through all of these. I think popping this behind it could be really cool as well. Or, again, using the whole pink there could be, whoopsie, sorry about that, could be nice. So anyway, this shows this with the rose, and it's kind of a little bit darker than what I used here. So you can see you could use this one, or you could have, I could have done the Flirty Flamingo. That might have been better, who knows. So anyway, there you can see some choices there. Let's see, I wanted to show you this one because these are the really large pattern, really large florals. You could cut this out, or in my opinion, you could just turn this into a card front, kind of centering whichever one, maybe your favorite or whatever, and centering it in the front of a card, add some ribbon and a sentiment, and you would have a card. Especially, I think this would look especially nice as a sympathy card just because it's kind of soft and subtle. Okay, then I was looking at this one and imagining it, let's see if I can get it up there close enough where you can see, with the daffodil background here, just to kind of pop it. And like I said, this one is the hardest to use, so maybe I should have used a little more white on it, just something to think about. But it would look great put on a background of Orchid Oasis, because there's so much Orchid Oasis in this one, and it just kind of turns it into a kind of a bluish colored card. Or another choice would be this pink on white, which I really liked. And again, using either this one or just using this with one of my circles like that, that really pops it up. And then you could also put, have put it on this. That would be gorgeous as well. So lots of choices with this one. And then I really like the idea of using our, I don't know if you've seen these guys, but there are all 5 of the end colors have a baker's twine that's with white. And I think it looks really nice with this paper. So the Starry Sky even kind of looks nice with it. This one is, of course, the orchid. And the Sweet Sorbet does not actually look bright red. It looks kind of a pink color, so it would actually look nice with these two, I think. All right, so now I'm down to this one. Has kind of a really kind of a ditzy or a wild floral. So I was thinking you could use these pieces and then this cutout here that you can see, or maybe you could use this one. Put it like that and add it here. And that would make a super cute little card, and you could just add whatever sentiment you like. So maybe you want to try a happy birthday. Let me see here with my little happy birthday guy. I'm going to use this right here. I think I grabbed the wrong happy birthday. I think this is one that has to be cut out with a large punch, but anyway, we'll see here. Try to add that to it. Okay, then I hope that I have the one I'm looking for now. Yes. I'm just gonna punch this happy birthday right close to the edge, just as close as I can get, and still get the whole thing in there. So I'm getting it right along this edge. Try to get it even. I can't tell if I have it even or not. I'm just gonna go ahead and, if I can stop being distracted. There we go. And then I'm just gonna take this and slide it up or down, whichever way. It won't make a difference really. Slide it through. Where I want it is back in the exact same place that I punched it. So I'm just kind of scooching it down and try to get it even. All right, so then there is that I've cut with this punch. This is one of our new punches that punches a really big space, but I like to just kind of trim it down just a little bit. So ideally what I could see here is just popping that happy birthday on the bottom and then creating this card pretty simply. I did want to also show you this card that I made for a swap. This was me trying to use this paper as easily as I could, and I cut this pattern paper out. I cut this by hand, you know, fussy cutted it, but as if it had a die cut, you know, as if a die cut might cut. And then this thank you, that actually is a stamp set full of sentiments that you can cut with little dies that cut them out just like this. So all I did to complete this was just add a ribbon around the stems of the flowers, and then I colored with our Stampin' blends some basic rhinestones and then popped them in the center and in a triangle shape. That's kind of the recommended plan when you're putting embellishments like that on. So that was my plan with this. And then of course it has the quatrefoil background embossed on this Pear Pizzazz layer. So anyway, I appreciate you all watching, and I hope that you have a great weekend. Bye-bye.